right? Like that. Don't y'all do that, please. All right, if you're having trouble feeling your lower lats when you do back exercises, this is the video for you. Let's get right into it. That's it, we're here. All right, cool. Another one of the videos, I'm gonna walk you through my technique and form and all things I do to engage my lower lats. Lower lats, when people say lower lats, they're talking about like, I need to feel down here. How do I get this part? Look at that, mobility, y'all. There you go. So like here, right? So feeling our lats, number one, is a couple things. When you do lats, you understand that, remember, it's gonna attach basically, it's gonna come all the way up here. I'm gonna make it really easy for you guys. It's gonna attach to your arm, face like this, attaches the ribs, goes all the way down, attaches to here. So when I do this, that movement by my lats, right? My lats are helping with this movement. So people don't really understand that. They're like,
man, I'm feeling my lats.
Yes, you are feeling your lats too, but if I do too much of this, now I'm feeling actually my obliques. So when you're doing like over this with like over crunching, you're doing more like obliques than your lats because we still want that lat to be like stretched from here. If you watch me from here, when I'm pulling from my lats, I'm pulling it from a stretch, not from being here, then crunching down on it more and more and more.
Why are you running?
Right, so that's where it originates from. So understanding the difference between you doing a side bend or you actually feeling your lower lats is sometimes very confusing. So there's some things we have to do to make sure you understand what's actually going on. Now, I made this point this morning when I was talking to my client. This is going to do either this or this, right? The lats do this to this bone only, right? When you're pulling anything, whether you're rowing, you're doing a pull up, pull down, bent over, whatever the heck you're doing, all your back, your lats are doing is pulling this bone, your humerus, down like this, and it does this as well too. And it does this as well too. It'll rotate the shoulder in a bit like this, right? So when we're doing this, understanding how to feel the lat is basically gonna be where you are engaging or feeling everything from here. I thought I'd kind of demonstrate on a cable because it's easier for you guys to understand how to feel your lower lats. And that's the biggest part when it comes to lifting. Like a lot of the times when we're doing anything, any kind of rowing or back work, it's majority traps and biceps. And I'll give you a really good reason, like an example. Now I'm grabbing 2 D handles here. I also got the super cool fancy rotate handles there, but not everybody has those, so I'm not trying to make it difficult for everybody. But everybody probably has these guys here. Most of the time why people can't feel their lats is because the row ends up being like, it's like this. Even when they're up like this, they're rolling like this. If you watch, for the most part, everyone really does have a good job in kind of getting this part at the end. But we get this and we get this. So we get these scaps trying to pull the back together, and then we get the assistance from the biceps just doing a basic curl. So we get this, right? Or like the beginner straight up here, shoulders always back, they're pinched, all ready to start, and we're just doing this.
Why I do this actually?
Right? And you might feel it here, but when you look at it, yeah, we're doing the job because again, the job for your lat is to literally pull, it just basically does this. That's what the lat's doing. It's doing this and is doing this. And the biggest part that people are missing is they're getting this part, right? They're getting this part coming down, which is the shoulder extension, but that's being masked by a bicep curl. So when I'm doing a bicep curl, I'm curling like this, I'm doing a lot of this, and yeah, I'm doing a bicep curl here, but are my lats actually getting engaged? They're not. I'm doing a bicep curl. So what we want to do is you want to think of where this elbow is supposed to go from the start. From start to finish. Remember, the lats do this. And when I'm doing this, I'm just doing this because I'm pretending that this part of my arm isn't there. Right? This part's an accessory and it helps us actually do the movements. So we're not just doing this all the time, because that would be so boring. It'd be so boring if all your back exercises were just you doing this. And don't get me wrong, there are people who have to deal with that. I work with people who are amputees, and that's how we engaged their lats. Is because, to be honest, you don't need this part of your body. If you look at, is this gonna pull? This is gonna snap off and hit me in my nuts or something. But if you look at it from here, this is what's happening. right? This is doing it. The only reason why we can't really do much because I don't have this part here to extend, right? I can start here and do this as much as I can from here and pull down. That's basically what is happening. This entire exercise is just this, right? But we're too focused on pulling from the hand and then we get this, which is lats, right? Anyway, so when we're pulling, I like to do a few things. Number one, when we're gonna do this, let's just start basic. The weight I'm using is not that much. The weight I have on here is gonna be lowered down a bit. Most gyms have some kind of a seated row machine in their 2-tower pulley system, multi-functional, whatever it is, right? So we're here, and again, when I'm pulling, all I'm thinking about is this, right? I'm pushing this weight down. So if you go to the back of me, when I push the weight down and keep my chest up, I'm basically trying to lower my elbows to the floor by originating from my hands. I'm doing this. And you can see that is me just pulling the arm like this. I'm putting pressure on it this way. So when I row, my lat stays engaged. So even when it's back here, I'm thinking about pushing my elbows to the floor, right? My elbows are trying to push to the floor. Doesn't matter where they're at in the lift, whether they're fully extended from here, I'm pushing my elbows to the floor. On the way back, I'm pushing my elbows to the floor, and that's gonna keep your lats, your lower lats engaged. Same if we did it one arm, same idea, that if I sit here and I'm keeping my elbow down, so my arm, my elbow is constantly doing this. What's the difference between my arm doing this and the opposite? If you wanna know if it's doing it right, you're gonna see this, and that's what we want. Now we're doing biceps and traps. My lat's not doing much from here, but if I do this and lower my elbow to the floor, it naturally creates space for my ear, my lats are engaged, and we're pulling out. So when I'm lifting, all I'm thinking about is driving this down here, and even when I'm in that stretch position, I'm just going down, I'm still reaching. Like, I'm not reaching from here, like we'll say like advanced, a beginner doing 2 hands will do this. This is where I want you to be for a beginner. Able to do this, right? Keeping the lats down by keeping the elbows pressing the floor and pulling in. Or when you're advanced, you can open those scaps up more, protract and reaching, but I'm still, you see when I'm blowing my lats.
Hey guys, before we continue with this video, I gotta make sure you guys are hydrated. You hydrated yet? Probably not. Check it out, I got errands for you. Guys, use my code Johnny10 for 10% off Amino Fast. Like what's Amino Fast? Guys, Amino Fast is gonna increase your overall performance, reduce muscle soreness, improve your hydration, and it's gonna prevent muscle cramps. And guess what? All our flavors taste amazing. So guys, again, use my code Johnny10 for 10% off your next order of Amino Fast right now. Okay, back to the show.
Now, the reason why my shirt's off is not because I want everyone to think I'm the sexiest person alive, which I'm not. It's to see that when I actually engage where you should feel it, when I do this, see what happens? I'm basically doing this. You guys just sit down in your chair like this. If I do this and push down on my hands, I'm actually thinking about pushing down from my elbows, but I'm keeping it straight so I'm getting this. What happens?
Johnny, your chest is moving. I thought we were doing back.
Right, of course. Those are some of the cues that you should know or understand or feel that you're doing it right. Why? For all you people out there, Marios, your chest, the abdominal area, walls, whatever, does help with shoulder extension from a flexed position. So right now, my chest isn't gonna do anything. There's nothing going on. And when I mean flexed position, I mean in a contracted position here. So right now, to create tension to pull this down, my chest is engaged from here. So my chest is going to help with pushing the shoulder down, extending the shoulder, and my lats are gonna help with pushing my shoulder down and extending as well too. So when you're doing this, your posture should feel like this when you're rowing, that's what you feel. If you start feeling something up here, in this part of your chest, you now know that you're not doing it right. So things you wanna know how to feel when you're doing a lift, and that bringing you close to your muscle-mind connection, is understanding like, what other muscle groups should I feel while I'm doing this? Well, a couple things. Again, when I'm seated the way I should be seated, and I'm engaged from floor to core, I should be feeling my chest in my lats on the entire time. My under part of my pec, right? Under here, your dips, your high to low cable flies, your straight arm pull downs, I feel it there. You should feel it here, and then you should feel it in your back. And when I'm doing this, I'm rowing the entire time feeling this. Now, to make this super simple, and I could have made this video like 2 freaking seconds long, but I didn't want to do that because I need to get the watch time up and get some commercials in there and shit.
Just joking. Some of y'all gonna be like, no, he's not. I'm joking.
A couple things you can do, easy. Take a band like this, at height, right there. Like normal, you're gonna walk back a bit, cause some tension. You're like, wait a minute, man, what the hell? My hands aren't by the side anymore. Put them there. You're gonna push your hands to the ground, and you're gonna go like this, yoink. And then you're like, Johnny, how do you feel my lats? How'd you do that, dog? I'm like, yeah, what I did was, I decided to do a 30-minute video and give you like 2 minutes at the end that would encapsulate the entire video anyway. But you're working your lower lats. You're actually working on all of your lats. And if you do this long enough, you're gonna be like, man, my triceps are starting to hurt a bit. Why? Because in this lift, shoulder extension, priority or primary, the lats are gonna do this priority. It's gonna be the first line of, I'm gonna move this shit. Like you're at the front of the gate and it's like, yo, the first way to get into that lat engagement is gonna be the lats. Then when you get inside, you buy a drink, you get it from like the under chest, and then you order the drink and then the server brings it over to you and the server is the triceps. Anyway, so let's do this again. We're just gonna walk out like this. Your hands aren't gonna do anything funky. You're gonna stand straight like this. Don't do anything nutty. You just gotta just stand straight. Get these guys on the hand, keep it at waist height or where your hands actually are. Walk back a bit where there's tension, right? And then you're gonna push to the floor. You're gonna have your chest up and you're gonna pull your arms back. And you're gonna be like, damn, Johnny, my lats, I can feel them. I can feel my lats. Thank you so much. And then after you do this for a bit, you're gonna be like, my triceps are starting to take over. Then I'll be like, hey, that's the same feeling that you get when you do straight arm pull downs. And at the end of the set, you're like, my triceps. That's why I was like, man, why my triceps bug me so much when I do this? This is why I do these videos. So you understand that the triceps help. That's all I'm basically gonna say. So working the lower lats, I am always thinking about Aussie Florida core being base up, B-town, no? B-town. We're pushing the elbows to the floor, keeping the chest up. I have a good base, and right now I feel my lats, I feel my under chest, my pec under boob, however you want to call it, it's gonna make it easy for you guys to remember. Something funny, something to catch on, I don't know. But you feel that, that's what you feel. And then when you're rowing, you're feeling the same thing at the back. And you're gonna row out, and you're always pressing your elbows to the floor, keeping your chest up, and you feel your lats and your under boob working the entire time. And that's how you do lower rowing movements, or how you feel your lower row movements. Check it out, we can be even fancier. One last thing, I'm gonna drop the weight down, I'm gonna come back this way, boom, we're talking about that center of mass again. Yoinks! Look at this. And what do I do to feel my lower lats again? Same damn thing. Pushing my elbows to the floor, chest is gonna be up, rowing, oof. I feel it. I wanna go a little further in, get a little more stretch. Still pushing to the floor and pulling in, right? Do I gotta be supinated, pronated? I don't know what the word is. Supinated, pronated, or neutral? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, even if you're here, it looks weird. Like, don't do this, please. This is just weird. I don't think, if you see anyone doing this, don't judge them. They're probably onto something, but just making the point. It's not about where my hands are. It's where my elbows are pushing to the floor, or then this, or this. That is it for my walkthrough on how to feel your lower lats. I'll do another one on high pulls to feel your lats when you're doing high rows as well too, or high pulls. What was I gonna say? Spoiler alert, it's the same thing. It's basically the same thing, but I'm gonna have to do it because I wanna demonstrate so you guys get a visual, and we're good. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. For more videos like this, or if you're like, yo, Johnny, you need to break that down even more, let me know in the comment section below. Your wish is my command. Until next time, guys, you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive, overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Bye, guys.